Every year, millions of people cry watching the same ad. It's not flashy, no celebrity endorsement, no fancy special effects, just a story about a grandfather and a rusty old exercise bike. And by the time it ends, you're wiping your eyes, your friend is too, and odds are, you've already hit share. But here's the kicker, that ad wasn't made to sell a product. It was engineered to make you feel something so deeply, you'd have no choice but to spread it. And this isn't an accident. It's one of the most powerful marketing tools on the planet, and it's hiding in plain sight. But to understand how marketers hijack our emotions, one tear, one laugh, one gasp at a time, we have to start with a dead pig. In 2006, a photo went viral that shook the internet. It was a roasted pig, but not just any pig. This one had a human baby's face, digitally edited, obviously, and was served on a silver platter, apple in mouth. The image wasn't real, but it was horrifying. People were outraged, disgusted, shocked. Some even thought it was a satanic ritual, and they shared it by the millions. It was later revealed to be part of an avant-garde art project. Provocative, weird, definitely disturbing, but also genius, because it tapped into the exact kind of emotional cocktail that makes content explode. High arousal emotions, the kind that jolt you, shake you, make your heart race or your skin crawl. They bypass your logic and hit your nervous system directly. And when that happens, your finger moves faster than your brain. You share. But this principle isn't just about disturbing art. It's been used to sell sneakers, movies, even soap. And what's wild is, we've been falling for it this entire time. Let's break it down. Why we share what we feel. Imagine this. You're scrolling through your feed. You see a heartbreaking story about a dog that waited for its owner every day at the train station, long after the owner had passed away. You read it. You feel the ache. Now what? You share it. Why? Because we don't just share facts, we share feelings. According to Jonah Berger, content that evokes high arousal emotion like awe, anger, anxiety, amusement, is far more likely to go viral. It's not about being happy or sad, it's about being moved. But not all emotions are created equal. So, what kind of feelings actually make people hit share? Well, that's where things get interesting. The awe factor. In 2010, a YouTube video called Double Rainbow exploded across the internet.
It's a double rainbow all the way. Whoa, that's so...
It was a man filming a rainbow in his backyard, crying, laughing, screaming. What does it mean? It was weird, beautiful, and oddly wholesome. That video racked up tens of millions of views. Why? Because it triggered awe. Awe is that goosebump feeling you get when you see something massive, mysterious, or profoundly beautiful. And when people experience awe, they feel small, but also connected to something bigger. Jonah Berger found that awe is one of the most viral emotions out there. It inspires curiosity, wonder, and the desire to share it with others, which is exactly why brands like Apple, NASA, and National Geographic lean hard into awe-driven marketing. But awe isn't the only powerful emotion. Next, let's talk about a feeling that spreads even faster, and it's not so pretty. Anger is fuel. In 2020, a video surfaced showing a man being denied boarding on an airline flight, despite having a valid ticket.
Hey, can't the pilots drive to Louisville? Can't they rent a car for the...
He wasn't yelling, he wasn't violent, but the airline dragged him off the plane anyway. The footage was shared instantly. Millions of views. Protests, boycotts. Why? Anger. Righteous outrage isn't just fuel for conversation, it's a viral accelerant. Anger activates us. It lights up the part of our brain that says, this isn't right, and everyone needs to know about it. Whether it's about social justice, unfair treatment, or broken systems, anger makes people speak up. Marketers, especially political campaigns, use this on purpose. They design content to poke at injustice, not always to fix it, but to make it shareable. But emotional marketing doesn't always have to be intense. Sometimes it just needs to be hilarious. And that brings us to a very different emotion: when laughter goes viral. In 2013, a woman put on a Chewbacca mask in her car, turned on Facebook Live, and couldn't stop laughing. That's it. That's the whole video. But within 48 hours, it had over 50 million views. The woman became a meme, invited on talk shows. The mask sold out everywhere. What happened here? Amusement. Funny content gets shared because it makes us feel good, and it makes others feel good too. The science backs it up. People are more likely to share content that makes them laugh, even if it has no practical value. And companies know this. Remember Old Spice's "The Man Your Man Could Smell Like"? Pure comedy, pure virality. But there's one emotion that goes even deeper than laughter, more primal than anger, and more contagious than awe. It's the kind of feeling that hits you without warning. Fear, the invisible engine. During the early days of the pandemic, a story went viral about a woman who touched a gas pump and ended up in the ICU. It wasn't confirmed, it wasn't verified, but it felt plausible and terrifying. So people shared it, not to be malicious, but to protect others. Fear is deeply rooted in our biology. When something scares us, our brains tell us, "Warn the tribe." That's why clickbait headlines often lean into fear. "Doctors baffled by this one weird ingredient," or "You're brushing your teeth wrong." Fear makes us pay attention. But here's the trick. Fear only works if there's an element of control. If it's too helpless, people shut down. But if there's a way to act, to avoid danger, to fix the problem, then fear becomes fuel. And that brings us to the hidden emotional layer that almost no one talks about. The bittersweet zone. Let's go back to that Christmas ad with the grandfather and the exercise bike. The story? He trains secretly all year to lift a small dumbbell. Why? So he can hold up his granddaughter to put the star on the Christmas tree, just like her late father used to do. Boom. Tears, goosebumps, a lump in your throat. That emotion? It's called elevation. It's bittersweet. It's heartwarming. It makes you want to hug someone you love. And it works like magic. Because content that makes people feel deep human connection, not just laughs or fear or outrage, gets remembered. And what gets remembered gets shared. But here's the thing. None of this matters unless you know how to trigger these emotions intentionally. So how do brands, creators, and even everyday people do it? Let's wrap this up. In a world drowning in content, what cuts through isn't logic, it's feeling. Whether it's joy, rage, awe, fear, or that soft ache in your chest, you don't share something because it's smart. You share it because it touched something inside you. Jonah Berger's emotion principle doesn't just explain viral content, it reveals something deeper. We're not just consumers, we're humans. And emotion is how we connect. So next time something moves you, and you feel that urge to send it to someone, pause and ask yourself, was it what they said or how it made you feel? Because in the end, that feeling is the message. What if I told you the secret to going viral starts with getting seen? From flash mobs to $100 cheesesteaks, the smartest brands don't whisper in private. They perform in public. Because if it's built to show, it's built to grow. And trust me, what comes next will change the way you market forever.